With the economy biting hard, Nigerians are struggling to get by daily. Prices of food items, transportation, house rent, fuel, and other essentials are going up by the day. And the government seems not to have a quick fix to this. To ease the pain on the people, the federal government is planning to share money to households. This approach has been criticized by experts who say that instead of throwing money at the people, government should introduce measures to grow the economy. Opinions differ on how to do this. What should the government be doing at this critical time to accelerate economic growth? Dr. Abubakar Alkali joins us in the studios to look at how the country can push through these difficult times. Very warm welcome, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And tell us, what are those indices that can rejuvenate and rejig Nigeria's economic development right now with inflation at more than 40%, interest rates at cutthroat? Should we be talking about food prices or living standards of Nigeria? What should government really concern itself with away from giving freebies, free money to Nigerians?
Yeah, thanks again, Chris. I think the whole issue revolves around the fact that the Nigerian economy is actually designed, to consume, not to produce. It is designed on consumption, not production. And I think this is the basis. For the government to reposition the economy, that template has to change. There has to be a shift of, paradigm from the current system whereby government, puts all the money on, infrastructure, as it were. I don't believe infrastructure can create the kind of jobs that we need. You see, the government has to reposition the economy towards production. Simple as that.
And you won't need infrastructure in that right to drive the production process too?
I'm not saying infrastructure is a bad thing. But Chris, a situation where in a state with so much potentials, so much resources, mineral resources, lying fallow, unexploited, and the government, the state government, the governor goes about erecting flyovers all over the place. He goes about erecting flyovers instead of looking at how he can, build a factory. Harness the potentials of that state. Instead of looking at how he can build a factory. Okay?
Does government need to build a factory? Why should a state government build a factory? Why are the private investors? I thought that's what the argument should be. The discuss. It's not government going to build.
I agree with you, but you see, I understand clearly that the function of government is to create an enabling environment, private investors.
Simplicity.
But you see, as you stated, in your opening remarks, before we started, you see, the fact is that we are in a very, very dire situation economically in Nigeria. The economy is almost on a free fall. Okay, so we have to think out of the box. And that is why I was talking about this doctrine of necessity. Okay? Doctrine of necessity, where the government has to come in. For how long have we been, trying to invite investors, both local and foreign? They are simply not coming. Because, you see, no genuine investor will not think twice before investing in Nigeria today. That is the fact.
Why?
Okay.
What are those things that are discouraging foreign direct
the investment climate is very harsh. The ingredients are simply not there. Number one, you have a very high rate of insecurity in the country. The amenities, the factors, the requirements, okay, such as power, are not there. Okay, you have higher interest rates. You have also high exchange rates. Okay, you have a very high degree of uncertainty. Okay, so you also have, I mean, in the case of the foreign investors, this uncertainty includes the fact that before you can get anything done, you have to bribe your way through many channels. Okay, so the fact is that the requirements, the ingredients, okay, the factors that will attract these investors are simply not there. Irregular government, inconsistency in government policies. Okay, every government goes with its policies. So investors are not encouraged. And that is why, you see, as I was saying, Chris, the fact is the government has to change this template of development in Nigeria.
Yeah, from consumption to
production.
production. Yeah, you've even suggested in some of your write-ups that the government should build, skills acquisition centers in all the wards of the country. That's, you're talking about 5,974 wards.
Absolutely.
You've talked about the federal and state government should also build technology villages.
Absolutely.
In the 774 local government areas.
Absolutely.
Some of the developmental, accoutrement that can help regenerate Nigeria's economy.
Absolutely. You see, this is why what I was talking about in terms of shifting from consumption to production. The flyovers you are building all over the place are actually consumption, more or less. Okay. Now, setting up factories, building factories is production, and that is the only way you can actually rejig your economy. You can bring your interest rates down. Okay. You cannot bring your exchange rate down. Okay, the prices of goods and services will continue to skyrocket as long as you import everything. Okay, so and the fact actually here is that about 70% of what we import, we can actually produce them right here in Nigeria. We can. Okay, so in that article, what I was suggesting is actually an industrial and manufacturing fund of 3.5 trillion naira.
The Bank of Industry is there.
The Bank of Industry, for how long has it been there? Okay, and what have we seen in terms of promoting MSMEs? Okay, you see,
the government is coming out with over 1 trillion now, to boost capacities of MSC.
What I'm saying, Chris, is that we are not going to have a kind of open check. Okay, we have a figure we are working on. We have a target we are working on. This is a fund of 3.5 million, and what we are doing is building a factory in each state of the federation. So if you don't build it, it is there. Okay, it is there for everyone to see. If you build it, it will be there for everyone to see. We should have a target. Most of these agencies don't have targets.
Yeah, but what's our key? We have the mineral resources and the rest. Individuals are just mining using terrorists and the rest, supported by, the states to mine gold and uranium, and what have you. Agriculture, sustained Nigeria, pre-colonial, post, even up well into the 70s and the rest, when,
absolutely,
Nigeria started having development plans, short-term, medium, and long-term, and the rest, but they were not taken through because
absolutely
of the successive military coups and the rest, and change of ideologies.
Exactly, Chris. You see, that was why in that article, what I was trying to do was to integrate farming, agriculture, into the development plan. And that is why I suggested, this zero budgeting concept, where the federal government will allocate 35% of the budget, 30% of the budget, 35% of the budget, as the case may be, to textile industries, to setting up textile factories, which will now give birth to micro, small, and medium enterprises. And I was saying that, you see, this is doable because You even find a situation where Nigeria already has capacity in textile. You see, we should move away from oil. The earlier we do that, the better. The earlier we start preparing for that transition, the better. Both in terms of the energy, aspect of our development plans, and also in terms of industrialization. Nigeria should pick a commodity. And for me, I always keep saying the textile industry has actually the capacity to reposition Nigeria's economy. Okay, let the government have a priority list to say, okay, look, we are investing this percentage, 35% of the budget on textiles, and we are, targeting, in the next 3, 4, 5 years, we have a target of making Nigeria the hub of textile business in Africa. I don't see any reason why that cannot be achieved. And after this textile, we could also have a situation where you have a complement commodity, rice. Okay, Nigeria should be a net exporter of rice. There is no reason that should not happen. Okay, so when you have this, okay,
but Boko Haram and ISWA terrorists and the rest, they've taken over all the forests. The bandits.
They cannot defeat us, Chris. I tell you.
But they've defeated the farmers. That's why Nigerians are hungry.
That is a fact. You see, that is why.
Isn't it a fact?
No. What I'm saying.
Isn't it a fact?
Nigerians are hungry. There is no doubt about that. And insecurity is part of it. What I'm saying is that we must never relent. We must keep working. They must never defeat us. They will never defeat Nigeria. We have to continue. These are the kind of structures, okay, that will put them. Look at what industrialization will have done. Look at what factories will have done. Most of the out-of-school children would have been absorbed by these factories. Most of even the bandits and the terrorists would have found, space in these factories, with jobs. That will help in the educational development. Out-of-school children will go down. There's no doubt about that. That will help in,
That was a deliberate. That was a deliberate policy, the Almajiri policy, where you come from and the rest.
I don't think it's deliberate.
And see that the boomerang.
I don't think it's deliberate.
You didn't come from the street, Dr. Abubakar Alkali.
I don't think it was deliberate. It's just because of the failure of the system. That's what get back to it.
It's all right. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Dr. Abubakar Alkali is a public policy analyst and chairman, Movement for a New Nigeria. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.